Okay, so we started tree diagrams last week, Thursday, and we're going to finish them off today. And then we're going to do exam questions from grade 11 papers for probability in our lesson on Thursday. And that's going to kind of bring us to the end of probability. We can move on from there. There are 4 tree diagrams that we are going to go through this evening. They are hard, but if you can do these, you can do any tree diagram that could be thrown at you in an exam. So I've been very specific in what I've chosen. And I'm going to help you a little bit in the beginning, and then I'm slowly going to help you less and less so that by the last one, you're doing it all by yourself. Hello. Okay, let's have a look at our first question. Let me, guys, it's done that annoying thing where I can't write. Give me a second. There we go. Okay. There are 3 black balls and 5 white balls in a bag. Roman draws a ball at random from the bag and then draws another one without replacing it. Okay. So for my first part of my tree diagram, what are my branches going to be? What am I going to break that up into? To the first, basically for the first draw. So we're going to have a first draw for the first set of branches, and then we're going to have a second draw. Exactly. Yeah. So we're going to think, what are our possibilities on the first draw, right? I'm just going to make it a bit smaller. Okay. So on our first draw, our possibilities are black or white. Okay. So on my first draw, I could either get a black ball or I could get a white ball. Now I want you to look at the numbers. How many balls in total are in the bag when I draw my first ball out of the bag? 8. Good. Okay, so you are going to finish up this tree diagram. You need to think about what number is going to go there, what number is going to go there. Here, 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 here. And then you're going to work out the probabilities. So the probability of B, B. The probability of B, W. Okay, that is my helping hand. Give it your best go. First, complete your tree diagram. I will give you time to do this. These can take time. I'm very aware of that. And if you work out all of these probabilities, these questions will be easy peasy lemon squeezy. And if you're feeling confused about anything, just shout, let me know. Abu, I'm liking what I'm seeing. Except I don't know if I'm liking what I'm seeing for the last one. Oh no, yours is just a different area. Okay. I can't hear you, Leander. You're on mute. Mm-mm. I'm going to give you a couple more minutes. Let me know if you are struggling or if you're doing okay. Okay, so Abu and Oyanda, if you got the same answers, that's great. Now I want you to try give me the answers to these two. So the top one should be nice and easy. Give the second one a try. Hello to those of you who just arrived. Welcome, welcome. Just finishing off tree diagrams today. Nice. Okay, last minute. If you need more, let me know in the chat. Otherwise, I'm giving you one more Earth human minute, and then we're going to go through this one. Not Martian minutes, Earth human minutes. You're going to have to get a converter on Google to convert the time for you then. Okay, let's jump. So just gonna give myself some space here. When Roman draws out the first ball, there were 3 black balls and 5 white balls, which means this is going to be a 3, and that's going to be a 5. So that's my first options. Then what we're doing is we're following like a train. So this is saying that the first pick was a black ball, and then the second pick was also a black ball. So to work out that probability, we have to think, okay, well, now I'm going to have 7 balls because I've already taken one out. And I've already taken out 1 black ball because that's what I selected in my first pick. So I only have 2 black balls left out of 7 in total. And so that means that on this path, the probability of pulling a black ball and then another black ball is going to be 6 out of 56. Okay, second one, paper one. The first draw was a black ball. The second draw is a white ball. So I still only have 7 balls left in the bag. And I have drawn out a black ball, but I still have 5 white balls left because I haven't drawn any of them out. So my probability of drawing a black ball and then a white ball is now going to be 15 out of 56. Now, before I carry on at all, is there anyone who is feeling uncertain as to how I've gotten to that point? Please let me know so I can help, so that you don't spend the rest of the lesson confused. Yandana Boo, focus on the maths. I need to have the chat so that I can see what people are asking. Where does the 56 come from? Great question. So when we're working out these two probabilities, we're taking the first probability. So we're taking this one and we're multiplying it by this one. So this over here, the probability of the first black is 3 over 8. The probability of the second one is 2 over 7. And so 3 times 2 is 6 and 8 times 7 is 56. You only have corresponding denominators when you're adding and subtracting. So for this path over here, we would be saying 3 over 8 times 5 over 7. Thank you for asking. And now you know. Does anyone have any other questions at that point that doesn't make sense? Okay. So then we can keep moving along. Second option. I have now drawn a white ball. I still only have 7 left in my bag, but I haven't drawn a black ball yet, which means I still have 3 black balls left in the bag. So this probability is drawing a white ball and then a black ball, and that's going to be 15 out of 56. And my last journey is a white ball and then a white ball. So I have 5 out of 8 my first time, but now I've taken one of the white balls out, which means I only have 4 white balls left out of 7 balls in total. So that's going to be 20 over 56. Now, before I do anything else, questions? Did we get this right? Did we get it wrong? Do we have no idea what's going on? Let me know. Tell me what's going on in the chat so that I can get an idea of where you're all at. And then we can answer the questions that follow. And if it's feeling confusing, that's totally normal and okay. Okay. All right, so let's have a look at our first question. Draw a tree diagram. We have done that. Yes, Tinamalo, let me see what you say. Can you re-explain probability of white and then black? Yes, I absolutely can. Okay. So the first draw was a white ball, right? So that means I still have all 3 black balls in the bag. So that's why that is still a 3, because I haven't drawn a black ball. I've only drawn a white ball. But I do only have 7 balls left because I've taken out one of the balls. So there's 7 left, but I still have 3 black ones. And so all I'm doing is I'm saying 5 over 8 times 3 over 7, which is going to give us 15 over 56. Okay. All right, 2.2. What is the probability of Roman drawing 2 black balls? So that's this one over here. We have our answer already. The probability of drawing 2 black balls is going to be 6 over 56. You can also simplify it, or you could make it a percentage. And 2.3. What is the probability of Roman drawing at least 1 white ball? So then we have to look at our options. We can't include this one because there's 2 black balls, so there isn't at least 1. We can include that one because there is 1. We can include that one because there is 1. And we can include this one because there is more than 1. When we have to add multiple probabilities at the end of our tree, we just sum them up. So we're going to say 15 over 56 plus 15 over 56 plus 20 over 56. And that is going to give us 50 over 56. So that would be the probability of drawing at least 1 white ball. Okay. You ready to try one by yourselves? Hopefully. If you need help while you're drawing it, just put questions in the chat and I'll answer. If you'd like a screenshot, please feel free. Let me zoom out a little bit for you. Okay. A soccer match between Man United and Liverpool is one of the most anticipated games of the season. The experts predict there is a 70% chance of rain for the match. If it rains, Man U has a 60% chance of winning. If it doesn't rain, Manchester has an 80% chance of winning. First mission is to draw a tree diagram. So I'm going to give you some chance to try this by yourselves first. And then we can go through it together. But first, give it your best go. I want everyone to try. Even if your tree diagram looks completely wrong, that's fine. Give it a try. Try something. Well, I'm an Arsenal supporter, so I don't mind either of these teams is fine. I'd actually probably prefer for Liverpool to win because in my fantasy league, team would do better. If you want to check things that you're doing, put your questions in the chat and I'll let you know if you're on the right track or not. Okay, I'm going to give you 3 more minutes. You don't have to answer the questions. This is just about drawing the tree diagram. So where is that going? Okay. Okay, 1 more minute. And if you need more, let me know in the chat. And then we can think about what this one looks like. It should make sense. These are as hard as tree diagrams can get. So if you can do these ones, you can do all of them. I know, public holiday tomorrow, very exciting. You have school? Surely that's not allowed on a public holiday. That feels that feels wrong. Okay, let's have a look at this situation. So we have a soccer match between Man U and Liverpool. The experts predict that there's a 70% chance of rain for the match. So our first branches are going to be if it rains and if it doesn't rain. So I'm going to say dry. So I'm going to say dry or rain. Then we have to just think about what they've told us. So they said there's a 70% chance of rain for the match. So that means there's a 7 out of 10 chance it's going to rain and a 3 out of 10 chance that it's not going to rain. Because remember, when I add these two up, I need to get 1. So 7 over 10 plus 3 over 10 needs to equal 1. Okay. Then let's look at the second part. Oh, wait, before I look at the second part, does anyone have questions about the dry and the rain and where those numbers came from? Okay. Then it says that Man U has a 60% chance of winning if it rains. So if it rains, so now I'm following here because that's where it's rained. If it rains, then Man U has a 60% chance of winning. So 6 out of 10 chance of winning, which means they have a 4 out of 10 chance of losing. Are we happy so far? Okay. Then it says if the weather is dry, Man U has an 80% chance of winning. So that means if it's dry, I have an 80% chance of winning. And if I lose, that means I would have 2 out of 10, 20% chance of losing. So then we land up with these different options. Okay, so we have probability that it will rain and they will win. And that's going to be 42 out of 100 because we're taking the 7 out of 10 timesing by the 6 out of 10. Probability of rain and losing is going to be 28 out of 100 because we're saying 7 out of 10 times 4 out of 10. Probability of it being dry and them winning, it's going to be 24 out of 100. And probability of it being dry and them losing is going to be 6 out of 100. Before I look